name is Zaraya Buford, and this is my informative speech, and my subject that I did was serial killers. The difference between a serial killer and a mass murderer is that a serial killer is somebody who commits 4 or more murders over a certain period of time, and they are related in some way, shape, form, or fashion. A mass murderer is somebody who commits 4 or more murders at one event. Like, for example, Adam Lanza. He was the Sandy Hook elementary shooter, or James Egan Holmes, who was the Colorado movie theater shooter. An example of a serial murderer would be like Jeffrey Dahmer, who killed 15 young homosexual young men, or Ted Bundy, who killed 36 college-aged women. Now, the physical appearance between a serial killer and I is no different. In the United States of America, 86% of the American serial killers were Caucasian, 90% were males, and 84% of them was heterosexual. And so the difference between you and I versus a serial killer is that the psychodevelopment process that we have when we were growing up. The criminal triad theory is a theory that describes the interaction between 3 psychosocial development processes. The first one is attachment, the second one is moral development, and the third one is identity formation. In the attachment process, this is where attachment is viewed as a survival mechanism in which the child seeks proximity to the attachment figure in times of stress and times of need. Because of this, the person develops a behavior system where only 2 emotions is activated. The first emotion is alarm. This is caused by some stigma in the child's sensory field to where they fear being approached by strangers or even approaching strangers. The second is anxiety. This is caused by the fear of being separated from the protective care of the attachment figure, or the person that the serial killer attached to. The second process to the criminal triad theory is the moral development process. And in this process, this is where the person develops certain principles in considering the distinction between what's right versus what's wrong, or good and bad behavior. In this process, this is where we see the lack of mortality levels in the child or the person, and this is where they lead to have themselves questioning whether or not their actions are considered acceptable or right in the eyes of our society today. This also leads them to maintain a compassionate demeanor towards other people without answering to certain conditions or qualifiers in the sense to see if what they did was okay or not. Alright, the last part of the criminal triad theory is the identity formation process. And in this process, this is where the person develops a lot of responses to all their doubts, or whether the adolescent adopts one of the several contrasting strategies. So the last part of the criminal triad theory is the identity formation. And in this process, this is where the person adopts a lot of responses to all the doubts that they have throughout their lifetime. Or you can consider it as the adolescent adopting several contrasting strategies in which to dictate solutions to their problems, whether or not it's right or wrong in a sense. And because of all these different processes that you have in the criminal triad theory, they have certain types and characteristics of serial killers. The first type would be an organized serial killer. These are the people who like to watch their victims suffer. These are the people who also plan out their murders beforehand, and they also leave their area clean once done, with no evidence of anything that happened. Another type of serial killers would be the unorganized serial killers. This is where they are the complete opposite of the organized. These people have low IQs, most likely. So I've read off of serialspectrum.org. These people also leave their areas messy afterwards. They don't clean up all the evidence. And then another type of serial killers you have are lust serial killers. These are the people who kill due to their sexual satisfaction. Another type of serial killers you have are the visionary serial murderers or serial killers. These are the type of people who are considered people who suffer from schizophrenia, and